Mike's keen to learn countryside conservation skills as a change from his day job in the street cleansing department in Manchester. He's making big changes in his life and has joined a local literacy group.
I've always struggled with my writing and reading, and since being on the course that I'm on now, I've found out that I've got dyslexia.
And you've got for and you've got mat, haven't you? Or you could have in and form and at.
We do different things like words, chunking of words. It's done in a friendly environment.
La 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 la. Oh, what shall we sing? La la.
She's sort of she's brought me out of myself over the last year or two.
So would you feel confident that if I gave you a time limit that you could learn that word?
See, I'd do it like check, like CH, and I'd just memorise the second part of it.
I met Mike a few years ago now, and the first time I met him, he came in, he was very, very nervous. Don't think he'd mind me telling you that he was shaking and sweating with nerves, and he'd been approached by the coordinator of the learning centres, Pete Shepherd, to join the courses, and since then I've seen a big difference in Mike with his spelling and his reading ability.
With his increased confidence, he's now ready to volunteer.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow actually, because it's something I've never done before. It'll be a new thing for me to do, and I'll be meeting other people as well at the same time.
We're working today as part of the Kerridge Ridge Inglesey Vale project, and it's been funded by the National Lottery, the Heritage Lottery Fund, that used to be a silk mill originally, and then it was a cotton mill after that. It was actually demolished and fell to pieces, so what we've been looking at is the archaeology of the site, and also trying to renovate some areas for the conservation, such as taking down sycamore trees. The sycamore tree is not a native tree, and basically it produces a very, very shaded area below, which is shading out all the wildflowers which are quite predominant in this area.
My first impression, I thought it's a really nice location, like, it's nice countryside, you know, and I was impressed with the scenery, you know, in the locality.
Watch your feet all the time so you don't trip.
I'm going to be shown how to fell a tree, like, you know, I've never done it before, so that should be interesting. So, can't wait in a way.
The tree felling process is basically to take down the tree in the safest possible manner. So on a day like today, the first thing that we'd be looking at is the wind conditions and making sure that people were safe. The volunteers would have hard hats on to ensure that if a tree did blow down in the wrong direction, they would at least have their head covered and protected. What people have a tendency to do is to saw this side and then saw that side, but they haven't actually sawn in the middle. It's going to start to go now. So this is your initial cut, about a third of the way into the tree. The gap acted like a hinge to direct the tree.
The lady that showed me how to do it actually showed me how to cut the tree in a safe way. And generally I just followed her instructions. Don't think I'll end up cutting it like that, I'll have a go.
That's all right, you know, it's your first go, you just do the best you can.
I'll probably end up down there and that cockeyed or something.
That's probably almost there, you know, Mike, that bottom cut, good. I think it's important that the way that Mike's personality is that he's chatty, he can get involved with other members of the group, and I think his communication skills are especially strong.
Right, that's the wedge that came out of the tree I cut down today, which I'll be keeping as a souvenir, which will remind me of my day out there today, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It'll probably get varnished and end up as a doorstopper at some time. But at least every time I look at it, I'll remember my day out today, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
It's important for different members of the community to come out so that they can actually get involved with other members of the community, have a diverse mix of volunteers, and therefore we get representatives from all members of the community who can come along and put their input into the project.
The Spring Into Action campaign has got events near to everyone in the UK, so please join in. It's happening between May and June. Anybody can volunteer, you don't need to be qualified, you haven't got to be fully able. Basically, you've just got to have the get up and go to want to volunteer. Everybody has something to give.